Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I actually had to just kind of sit. Um, we'll get 10 minutes to sit there and try to describe this episode and not be negative Nancy. Um, I will sit there and say there are some genuinely good moments in this episode, specifically between Carly and Gladys. One of the things I did like, because I was sitting there wondering, Gladys in this episode seemed a lot more softer, more vulnerable. It wasn't about herself, it was about her grandchild, how worried she was. So it was a very nice side to see. Now, this then asked the question, are we going to get the Gladys that I've just, got to know and kind of got annoying? Um, Like, is she going to be still the Gladys that we know, the ish starter, the self centered version, that version, the annoying version? We got a little bit of glimpse of it. Um, she was sitting there talking about Liam, as far as the name and stuff. Um, even Carly was like, well, that's their name, and, their parents like it, so that's. And he compared him, because he was sitting there talking about how Liam wasn't like a rugged name, and, she was like, well, there's Liam Neeson, so there's that, but you can tell there's still going to be a little bit of Gladys in her. But I mean, I can already tell there's definitely going to be a different side of Gladys, you know. So it'd be kind of interesting to get to know her too. I think it's one of those things where it's like, I guess it's a balance, you know? Because on one hand, Gladys, when she first came on this show, she was annoying as hell. Now I started realizing something. The minute that Brando and Sasha got together, they became boring as hell. And unfortunately, it was one of those things where it's like, as much as I don't like Gladys, I mean, she does kind of spice things up a little bit in her own unique way. And now that we're seeing this more softer side of her, the question is she going to become boring? It's like, you either got a boring version that no one likes, or you have an annoying version that irritates people. Yeah. Towards the end of the episode, we still don't know anything about Liam's condition. When Gladys is sitting there asking, when we're going to be able to sit there and take him home, Liam, Brando and Sasha was like, yeah, we don't know. We're still waiting. So it's been a couple of days, and we're still waiting. So I guess we'll get around to that eventually. Convo between Sonny and Peter. Pretty much what this really came down to is who is going to get under each other's skin the most. I mean, Peter trying to think on his feet is all like, oh, I know your secret, and I took pictures and stuff like that, and if I die, then you're going to be exposed, and you don't want your secret coming out. And Sonny was like, listen, she'll know when she'll know. And to be honest, it's even bigger than me. So it really doesn't matter about whatever secrets or anything like that that you have, which he say he doubts, but he's like, yeah, just watch your back. And pretty much, what it really came down to is he wants him to fear every time he walks around in jail. He's always gonna be sitting there looking over his shoulder, which is actually pretty great. Because it's like a nice, good, slow torture before you finally come in to take him out. So, I like it. And in the end, this whole little battle between who's going to get under whose skin, well, Sonny obviously won and he just walked out. And, Peter's just more on edge than even before. So now, I think what's going to wind up happening is he's going to wind up escaping. He's going to realize that if he goes to jail, he's dead. So his only course of action is escaping. And since Peter, love him or hate him, he's definitely been keeping it going. Now, my theory, because we all know that, there's rumors or whatever saying that Helena's going to come back. I'm wondering if she does come back like in actual flesh, not like a ghost or, some past, scenes or whatever. She actually comes back. She'll be the one that helps Peter out, as far as escaping. Also, side note, they said that they're bringing back the actress that plays Christina again. So, that'll be interesting. I always feel like as long as they give her something to do, I'm on board. I know a lot of people, there was one storyline a lot of people didn't like between, if I say Alexis, between Christina and her professor Parker. Like, a lot of people just didn't like that at all. And I was like, I don't really think it's so bad. I mean, people try to make it seem like, Christina was like underage and she was literally a grown-ass adult. But whatever. The point is, Iris is coming back, so it should be interesting. Austin and Maxie talk. Pretty much, Maxie is just trying to make sure that Austin doesn't get, bite off more than he can chew as far as Peter's concerned. Because, Maxie's like, listen, you don't want to sit there and antagonize him. You don't want to make him think that we're something more than we are because you'll be on his radar and, well, things don't usually end up well when going up against Peter. But, Austin's like, I'm cool, I got this, don't worry about it, and that they're friends again, so, okay. I don't know, I guess they're going to sit there and try to pair them up or something. It's something that's just so weird if they do. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that maybe their age is just that far apart. It's like trying to... And I'm not saying Austin's as old as Sonny, but it's almost like trying to pair up somebody like Maxie with Sonny. It's just like, it doesn't really, yeah. So I don't know what they're doing, but I think they're gonna sit there and try to pair them together, which is, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't care, because I generally don't care, but maybe it's because their age is just like something just... No. Nina has to talk with Willow. And Willow reveals that she knows about her secret. I feel like I don't really have to say much because in the end she didn't really wind up saying anything. Nina did her usual excuses about why she did what she did. I fell in love. It was pure love. Blah, 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 blah. Which is one of those things where I was like, it's pure love, but you was lying to him the entire time. What part of any of that was... I was like, yo, this chick is really delusional. Hell, even Willow called her out on that. But they went back and forth, and in the end, Nina begged Willow to keep her mouth shut, not for herself, but for Sonny. And it's like, alright, whatever. Maybe you are doing it for Sonny. But at this point, does it really matter? Because we all know that even if Nina didn't sit there and beg Willow to keep the secret, they were going to do it anyway. With Jason being gone, the family is still fragile. So regardless of whatever the situation was, she wasn't going to say anything. And we all know how this is going to go. The secret's going to come out. Willow, the secret's going to come out. They're going to sit there and look at Willow because she knew the whole time. It's going to drive a wedge. And I guess Michael won't be seeing her anymore. I don't know. It's one of those things with Michael and his relationships that just don't work out. Like, they just hit rock bottom. I know he was with... I think the first time that he was actually with someone, I think it was a stripper. I don't know if her name wasn't Summer. Was it Candy? And then there was Sabrina. I think that's her name. And that didn't go over well. And then it was Nell. And that didn't go over well. And it was Sasha. And that didn't go over well. And that was Willow. Man, this guy actually has a horrible track record. My goodness. Oh, and Michael goes and sees Sasha and Brando, and he's the Godfather, and um, sorry, I'm just thinking about that. He's the Godfather, and Willow's the Godmother. So, yeah, that's the thing. So, kind of forgot her name for a minute. I was about to call her Jeannie Francis. So Laura is pretty much wants to leave. She wants to get back to her family. She wants to warn them of the dangers of Victor, but Martin's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Cyrus wants to kill us, and you're not gonna do yourself or your family any favors by getting yourself killed. So that's not gonna happen. Now there's one point where the cleaning woman is outside, and Martin goes out there to give him some humming pie. I want some humming pie. I really do want some humming pie. I want some damn pie. I think actually after this I'm gonna take a break and just go to the supermarket and get a pie. I don't know why now I want pie. Anyway, so Martin goes out there to give the security guard some pie, whatever. And the security guard is like, "Hey, Martin, you're not supposed to be out here. Like, what are you doing?" And of course, at this point, it just confirms. Well, I don't know why it confirms. She already knew, like, she already knew that they were there. I don't understand why they made it seem like, seeing Martin was like a definite sign that they are there. Anyway, so now she knows, and towards the end of the episode, like, she goes in there. The cleaning woman goes in there, and I'm like, all right, what are you gonna sit there and do? You're gonna use like a silencer? You're not just gonna sit there and shoot this person and not, I'm pretty sure Cyrus is not gonna just, get some amateur to sit there and do the job. So of course she uses one of the zip ties. It's not a zip tie. It's one of those wires. Anyway, at this point, she looks like she's strangling Martin, and that's pretty much where it ends off. Now, we all know that Laura's gonna come in out of nowhere and take out the would-be assassin, which is like, all right, this woman is smart enough and clever enough to get in there and take out Martin, but don't sit there and bother to sit there and check behind herself to make sure that like nobody's gonna sneak up behind her. And I didn't even see the episode yet, and I already know how that's gonna go. But yeah, all right. Now after Sonny leaves, he runs into Maxie, and Maxie's like, oh, they're talking about Peter and stuff, and Maxie's like, all right, so you gonna kill him? Like, what's going on? What's taking so long? That's what you're gonna do, right? That's what you do. Which is kind of odd, because I'm just like, why would you sit there and ask Sonny, are you gonna kill Peter? Like, why would he say yes to that? Like, he's in the mob, right? I don't understand. Like, I know she doesn't know a lot about the mobs, but just in general, if you're gonna kill somebody, you're gonna sit there and play. So you're gonna kill him? Yes, Maxie. I'm gonna sit there and do it. Like, I just. I feel like that's about it for the most part. Wasn't exactly a great episode. I mean, the thing is, for the last couple of episodes, ever since the whole thing with Jason and Peter and Grace, ever since then, it hasn't really been great. There's been moments where you've had small moments that were great. Like today's episode, you had Gladys that showed a different side of her. The confrontation between Sonny and Peter was nice. And of course, the assassin scene towards the end really just kind of emphasizes that Cyrus means business. But besides that, it wasn't like great. Like, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't one of those episodes like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I came home on time, got my DVR ready, and I'm gonna sit there and just watch. Like, this is gonna be like amazing. No. Like I said, I feel like they're still trying to rewrite a lot of stuff. So we're kind of getting like nice little moments, but nothing major happening. Like it's definitely, for the past couple of episodes, I would definitely sit there and say it's been some very skippable episodes. Um, Nothing that's just been like, oh, I'm so glad that I watched that. It wasn't a terrible episode. It's weird too because it's like even before I started, I was like, ugh, I don't want to sit there and seem like I'm a negative Nancy, but I'm just like, how the hell am I actually gonna sit there and try to convey this episode in a way where I'm just like, so this episode, oh, it sucked. Like anyone would just sit there and do that, but it was okay. It was decent. It could have been better. I think most of these episodes could have been better. Um, I have a feeling that like once the ratings start to drop, they're gonna be like, all right, we got to do something fast. I guess time will tell. And what I will sit there and say, if you're not enjoying these episodes so far, they will get better. But I got a nice alternative. Watch Days of Our Lives. It's weird, I know, and it's one of those things that I wouldn't sit there and push on people or really sit there and recommend it. But these episodes have been so that I'm just like, all right. At this point, just kind of watch Days of Our Lives for a little bit, and two things start to pick up on this show. They will. Show's been going on for 50-something years. They've been clearly doing something right, but they need to kind of start to work at some of this stuff now, and I'm tired of being a negative Nancy about it, so that's pretty much my alternative. With that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts on in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.